Hello, my name is Berenice Kohana Paulsen. I am passionate about women. I love talking and I love coffee. So welcome on my coffee hopping journey. Today I'm here at the beautiful Rit Art Gallery in Mossel Bay, where I'm going to sit down with a phenomenal woman. We're going to drink coffee and we're going to talk women stuff. Come with me. Listen to someone, whether on TV, public speaking, or a one-on-one conversation, and you're like, you're talking but you're actually saying nothing. Or maybe be in a conversation with someone, they don't give you time to speak. It's like this person don't listen to you. Proverbs 31 verse 26 say, she talks with wisdom and she has faithful instructions. And today I want to talk about one of the most powerful tools that we as human beings have, and that is communication. All of us have it, but we need to have that certain skills and tools to be a powerful speaker. I am so honored to sit down today with one of the most phenomenal women that I know, Mrs Claire Du Plessis. She is an MC, public speaker, and she also trains people for public speaking. And who better to give us today tools on how to be an effective public speaker. I'm going to have coffee, I'm going to enjoy cake, and we're going to listen to what Mrs Claire Du Plessis will tell us today. Good day, Mrs Claire. Please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Berenice, how do I introduce myself? You know, when people ask me to introduce myself, it's I think people want to know. They normally think, you know, when you introduce yourself, you've got to say something about your interests and you've got to say something about where you come from and
yes.
whatever. But I mean, that's, I think, when you introduce yourself, has very little to do with who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So when I introduce myself, I would like to say that I'm a human being in progress.
Okay, amen.
I'm growing, I'm developing, I'm evolving, I'm changing, I'm transforming, I'm becoming.
Becoming, wow.
Yes, because we are not complete ever.
Yes, yes.
We shouldn't actually consider ourselves complete.
Yes.
So when I introduce myself, I would like to say I'm a human being becoming.
Wow.
That's who I am.
Wow.
Because I've just started a month ago music lessons again.
Wow.
And you know, which is a new dimension for me.
Yes.
And I did it as a child, and yeah, and I'm now becoming a musician.
Wow, awesome.
So that is who I am, a human being in progress.
Wow.
In progress and becoming.
Wow, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Wow, yes. Miss Claire, I have you today here because when Mossel Bay looks at you, your name is mentioned, we think about MC, public speaking, seeing you on stage. So who better today to give us skills and tools on communication? Please share with us some tools on public speaking. Most of the people fears public speaking.
Yes.
You will hear people say, no, I don't talk in public, I can't talk on the stage. Public speaking. Give us some tools.
I know. You know, when I train young people or I train people, it is indeed one of the biggest fears. You know, people, second to death, speaking
Yes.
in public is the second most feared activity.
Sure.
It is something that gives people, they break out in cold sweat.
Yes.
I mean, my husband is one of those.
Wow.
He just doesn't appreciate speaking in public. But there are, you know, speaking in public is like anything, any activity that you want to become good at, you've got to practice.
Yes.
It's not something that you need to fear. It's not something you need to fear. But before we get there, this is Women's Month.
Yes.
And so Women's Month is the one month of the year where we focus on empowering
Yes.
and equipping women for,
yes.
for the challenges that they face. And it's often said that women must find their voices.
Yeah.
They must.
Yeah.
And I want to today tell women, you've got that voice.
Yes.
You've got it.
Yeah. Wow.
You've got everything that you need. If you can speak, you've got it inside of you.
Wow.
So I want to say to women, claim your voice,
Wow.
own your voice, and use your voice.
Sure.
Claim it, own it, and use it. But not only that, when you've claimed it, when you've owned it, when you've used it, use, I say, speak your truth bravely.
Yes.
Speak your truth honestly.
Yes.
And speak your truth eloquently.
Wow.
So once you've found, owned, and you've claimed your voice, then use it to speak your truth.
Yes.
Now, since we are little, when we're born and when we start to speak, people want to listen to us all the time. Listen to babies.
Yes.
Babies say their first words. People want to listen to them all the time.
Yeah.
But once they get to a certain age, once they start using, according to society, too much of their freedom, and we must get that out of our systems. There's never too much freedom. There's never too much.
Yes.
We must allow young children. We as the adults need to guide them about. You're going to speak later, but we're going to speak about tone
Yes.
and register. We're going to speak about that later, but we must guide them about how to speak.
Yeah.
But to speak, we must allow them. You know, last night I watched Listen Ons, and there was this doctor on TV with them, and they asked, how do you, because we're speaking about gender-based violence.
Yes. Yes.
And they asked him, how do you teach your boys to respect women? And he's got little boys. He said he watches himself and he watches his actions, he watches what he says to his wife, especially in the presence of his boys.
Yes.
And so when he hears or sees his boys, or even when he himself says something that is out of line, that shouldn't be, he says, let's reenact that.
Wow.
That wasn't good, that wasn't right,
Yes.
let me fix it.
Wow.
And so he allows them, he said, what was wrong with what you just did? And so so when they're little, we need to, if they did something or said something wrong, let's do it over.
Yeah.
Because that's how you're going to get it right. But anyway, so once you've, as I said, owned your voice, use it now. And women might say it's easier said than done. I mean, I can't. I just don't know how.
Yeah.
Because women sit sometimes in difficult circumstances,
Yes.
and they can't speak about it. They're too scared. They can't speak with their partner.
Yeah.
Adults struggle with communication.
Yes.
Relationships
Wow.
suffer
Yes.
because of communication. And so it is the one thing that we need. But it's not easy. It
Yes.
doesn't come naturally.
Yes.
You've got to practice it. You've got to learn, and you've got to make sure that you want to improve your relationships, and therefore you'll work on the communication. My husband and I fight a lot about this because he is not. You know, I always say, just think of how you said that now. How could that affect me?
Yes.
How could that make me feel?
Yes.
The way you said that. And that's about tone.
Yes.
We'll get to that later on. But for the tools of public speaking, if you have been asked to speak in public, please, the one thing that you've got to do is prepare yourself. You cannot go up there and think that you're going to do a 3 to 5 minute speech without preparation.
Yeah.
You've got to prepare. You've got to respect yourself and your audience enough to prepare. So prepare well. You've got to rehearse. So you cannot, you must give yourself time to rehearse.
Yeah.
You've got to go through the speech. I mean, you asked me, I had to sit down and put down my main points.
Yes.
I had to think about it, and I had to imagine Berenice is sitting in front of me, and I'm speaking to Berenice now, and I'm giving her the things that she's asked me to. So preparation is key, and rehearsal is key, and then when you are going to deliver that speech, the day that you do go, present yourself well.
Yeah.
Don't go sloppy.
Yeah.
Present yourself well. It's important. I remember when I used to MC, you know, I make an effort. I take an effort to dress according to
I remember. Yes.
you know what the girls are wearing, and because you respect your audience.
Yes.
You respect the event, and you respect those people who asked you to come. I mean, I don't charge money. I did whatever, but it was about. It's my product I'm putting out there.
Yes, a product.
It's my product I'm putting out there. So the process that you follow to get to that finished product is an important process. You've got to prepare and groom yourself. You've got to make sure that you, I mean, if Nisa can tell you, I would ask for the program a day or two before the time.
Yes.
So I can study the program. I need to know when to do my changes, my wardrobe changes, how many wardrobe changes do I need to do. It's important. Preparation is key.
Wow.
Preparation is key.
Wow.
And when you prepare a speech, to start off a speech, a good speech, it is useful. It's not compulsory, but it's useful to find a suitable quote. If you're going to speak about women, like you did now, you took something from the Bible.
Yeah.
You took the text on wisdom from the Bible. Find a suitable quote.
Wow.
Don't just use any quote. Also find something that you believe in.
Yes.
It's also useful to use statistics.
Yes.
It's very useful to use statistics.
Okay.
A quotation is good, statistics are good, lyrics from a song that maybe resonates with it is also a useful one. And enactment, you know, Megan, you spoke about Megan earlier on. Megan, when I trained her in public speaking, the day when she did her speech, one of her speeches, she came to the session with a swirl course. But it was part of her speech. So dramatic, and she took it off and she shook her hair and whatever. But it was part of her speech.
Yes, yes.
So find a dramatic, because you're opening.
Yeah.
You must get people's
So you
attention.
need the attention.
You've got to do, your opening's got to be powerful.
Yeah.
Your introduction's got to be powerful.
Yeah.
So you've got to find a way, even if you use somebody else to and somebody to act something out, or a dance, or a clip, or whatever. But be impactful. Your opening is important. So preparation is key. Your opening is key. You've got to get your audience.
Yes.
You've got to round off that speech with ending. Your ending also needs to be impactful, and the opening and the ending needs to match.
Yes.
Because you come full circle.
Wow.
You've got to make sure that they link up with each other. You've got to get your audience to close. You bring them back to the beginning.
Yes, yes.
And also your speech has to have 3 or 4 main points, nothing more. 3 or 4 main points that you can summarize at the end, and you can leave your audience with. If they remember, they've got the examples, that you've got everything else that you spoke about, but you've got 3 or 4 main points that around the topic that you spoke of, that they must remember.
Wow.
So that to me are the key points. If you're going to do a speech, you're going to speak in public, prepare well, make sure your opening is dramatic, is impactful, rehearse, make sure your ending ties up, and only 3 to 4 main points. Don't get your audience all, you're going to lose them.
You're going to lose
only 3 to 4 main points. So if you think you've got a lot to say, choose the 3 or 4 most important ones. You can mention them all at the beginning and say, I've got lots to say about this topic. These are the things that are important about this topic, but I want to focus on these 3.
Wow.
Yeah, on these 3. Because about women, for instance, there might be a lot to say about
Yes,
women.
there's a lot to say.
But you're going to choose 3.
Yes.
Choose the most important 3 to you that you think are powerful.
Okay.
So that to me is what I would give as a little bit of advice on public speaking.
Sure. That's not a little bit of advice. Wow, I feel so empowered now. Can't wait for my next public speaking.
I'm glad.
Wow. You mentioned earlier about toning, and in communication, it's what's important is what you're saying and how you're saying it.
Absolutely. There's nothing more
How you're
important.
saying it, because sometimes you will get someone will tell you that I didn't mean that, but that is what you said.
Yeah.
But he didn't mean that because of how
tone.
you're saying it. How important is toning, and give us some tips on that.
You know, some people think that when you speak loudly,
Yeah.
that you make an impact.
Yes.
It's not.
Yes.
Definitely not.
Yes.
That is such a wrong perception.
Yeah.
Volume is important because if you're speaking to an audience, it's important volume, but it doesn't make your speech more powerful.
Yeah.
It doesn't make what you want to say more powerful.
powerful.
The louder you
Fully
speak
agree.
will not impress your audience
Yes,
more
yes.
or less, for that
Yes.
matter. Don't shout.
Yes.
Some people think when there are many religious leaders in church also think that when they talk loudly they are getting to their audience.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
You lose me.
Me too.
Yes, you lose me completely. So, yes, speak audibly, but don't shout.
Yes.
Also, in normal communication, the one thing that you need to remember is pace. You need to watch how fast or how slowly you speak.
Yes.
Pace is important. Tone is important, but register is also important. Register is how you address a certain person. You know, when somebody comes to work for me for the first time, I address that woman as Mevrou. Because that's what she is.
Yes.
I actually have had people working for me and I've called them Mevrou throughout. That's how I grew up.
Yeah.
It's about register, respect your fellow man. Respect your fellow man. So tone is the how, it's how it comes out, the volume. Also, some people think when they sort of stern and serious, they will come across as professional. No.
Yes.
You need to always remember when you speak, if you're respecting your audience,
Yes.
that people can sense it.
Yeah.
And so speak with respect.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your content will be received with respect.
Yeah.
Respect your audience, no matter if they're your subordinates,
Yes.
if they are your superiors, because sometimes people think who the people are they're speaking to,
Yes.
that they can speak in any which way.
Yes.
Don't ever take your audience for granted.
Wow.
Don't ever take your audience for granted. Tone is absolutely important. The how of what you say is important. It's
Yeah.
not what you say,
How you say
it's
it.
about how. So pace yourself, watch your volume, also your eye contact.
Yeah.
Make sure that you speak to your audience and use pauses sometimes in your speech, or speaking to people. Use pauses for effect.
Yes.
But it also helps you collect your thoughts.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So tone is absolutely important.
Wow.
Do not think that volume, the louder you speak, the better speaker you are,
Yeah.
or the more impact you will have. Not at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. People feel words.
Wow.
They feel
Wow.
words. And remember that when you speak. Your words is going to touch a heart.
Sure.
They feel you.
Wow. Wow.
And so therefore tone is important, because your content will be felt by
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
It's not only that they listen and it goes to the brain, it also goes to the heart.
Yes.
So remember that.
Wow.
And because people feel words.
Yeah. Yeah.
Words are felt. Communication is felt. It's when you and your partner, it's about how you said something.
Yes. Very important.
It's how he said something.
Yeah.
If he starts with, darling, can I, whatever, or he starts with, I want you to do that. Difference.
Difference.
Yes. You know, even if it's something that you don't like, can I speak to you about something?
Yeah.
Is it okay for you to speak? Are you okay? Can I speak to you about something? It's quite serious.
It's,
or
yeah.
do you think we should choose another time? It's important because words are felt.
Yeah.
It is absolutely important in every you know, at work, when I need to go and speak to the PA, I will go to her and I say, I'll say, do you have a minute for me?
Yeah.
I'd like to ask you something.
Yeah.
If you don't, tell me, will you let me know when you can?
Wow.
You don't assume.
They must be
Yes, available to you.
Yes.
They have their space,
Yes.
they have their job, but don't assume. Always respect it.
Yeah.
Tone is about respect.
Respect.
Respecting your audience, respecting the person you speak to.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's about respect.
Wow. Wow. I love that because I spoke earlier with a counselor. But I know the counselor, I've been grown up before her, so I know her actually as Auntie Dit.
Yeah.
But when I spoke to her, I knew that she is now in a capacity where I can't auntie her now.
Yeah.
And I called her counselor. And of course, this is
Yeah.
the level of communication where we are on
Yes.
now.
Yes.
So,
absolutely.
yeah,
Makes a lot of sense.
I love that. I love that. Wow. And communication have different forms. One of the forms is listening. Some people can't listen, and that is a communication
Skill. Oh,
yes.
Absolute skill.
Some people can't listen to you.
Absolutely so sad.
Yeah, and also one which I want to talk about is written communication.
Yeah.
Even to post something on social media, to post a status, that is communication. Because
Absolutely.
that is you giving out a message.
Yeah.
And many times I scroll through, then I get so disturbed by the kind of statuses that you would get, or even lose respect for the person when I see what this person is writing. Give us what is your view on status, social media, written communication?
You know, it's something that has not entered our world, but I grew up with letter writing. I grew up with letters. So I just on my dining room table, if you go home now, I'm supposed to next week, over this weekend, I'm supposed to put together a presentation that will be viewed as part of a group. We some of us are in Dubai, some of the group, but some are all over the country, all over the world actually.
Yes.
We worked on a lockdown storytelling recipe book.
Okay.
But the point I'm trying to make about written communication, I've got a letter of my great uncle of 1962 that he wrote to his sister, my aunt,
Sure.
my granny's sister. I've got a letter that my granny wrote to me in 1980,
Oh.
in my first year. And I've got another piece of writing that she wrote. She composed a school song. But what I've learned, and I used to write standard 6, I went away from home. No, standard 3, I first went away from my granny and went to my mother. So I had to learn to write to my granny.
Yes.
Because I'm not gone. And in standard 6, I left home to go and live with my other granny. And I had to write home.
Yeah.
And when I went to university, I also had to write home, 1980. But the written word is as powerful as the spoken word.
Yeah.
And with social media, it is, I shudder at times, the same as you do. I grr at times, and I wonder, what were you thinking when you wrote this?
Yeah.
You know, yes, we all have the freedom to say what we want to say,
Yeah.
and but remember that there are people of all ages on that platform.
Yes.
And yes, you may say, I'm an adult, don't let your children look at
Yeah,
my
why
things.
are they here?
Yeah, why are they here, etc., etc. It is, don't, it's something that you just need to, and yes, we know that people have courage and people are, you're way beyond worrying, whatever, but think, it is important that you actually do think about what you write.
What you write.
And what, because it is a hallmark of who you are.
Yes, it is.
It remains a hallmark of who you are.
Mm.
And we can justify it any which way. I grew up with a granny who taught me swearing is the crutch of conversational cripples.
Wow. Sure.
So if you cripple in conversation,
Yes.
then you swear.
Then you swear.
Yes.
Wow.
So I don't swear.
No, me too.
It is just something that I can't.
I can't.
It's just not something that I'm comfortable with. I can't imagine
No, I can't.
to speak to somebody and use a word
Sure.
that I would feel hurt if somebody uses against me.
Mm.
I think it's important that you watch what you write. Think about it. If you want to voice an opinion about something that you read, something that you saw, something that you experienced, whatever. Think about how you say it. Think about how you say it.
Yeah.
It's important that because you're putting out there something about yourself.
Yeah.
You're putting something about yourself out
yes.
there.
Your brand.
Yes.
Yes.
You're putting it out there. So, look, when I say these things, I'm not saying I'm an angel.
Yes.
I'm
yes.
not saying I'm innocent of whatever. I might have many other shortcomings and faults and whatever, but communication to me is key. It's crucial. It's important. That is your voice that you're using to influence people, to get people to think, and so be careful about what you write. It is important that you actually think about it a day or two. Ask somebody's opinion. Tell somebody, ek is nou so kwaad vir diene wat dit geskryf het. Ek het gehoor van diene wat nou dat gedoen het wat ook. Maar ek wil nou iets op Facebook sit. Ek wil dit so. Ask somebody's opinion. Dink jy is okay om dit te sê? Dink jy gaan mense, don't hesitate. Check with people.
Yes.
It's important because it's your brand.
Yeah.
And people will judge you no matter what you say. People are going to judge you. People are just people.
Yeah.
People are just people. So don't feel offended then, and don't get upset and annoyed and want to fight and argue with people if they then give their opinion. Or they then say something
because
about
you put it out there.
It's your responsibility.
Yeah.
Take care with what you write.
Yeah.
Take care with what you say. It's important.
Wow.
It's very important.
Wow. Thank you, Miss Claire.
You're
Thank
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
wow.
you very much for I can talk for hours of communication.
Yes, I know. And this is not the last time. We will talk again. But thank you for your time. I know you are a busy lady and thank you. I know all of us got something from this conversation. Even me, I feel hooked now and I feel like, oh, that's what I must work on. Oh, that's what I must do. Oh, this is what I'm doing right. So thank you. It was
very
really,
welcome.
really something that we can take from. Like I said, and like Miss Claire said, communication is key.
Absolutely.
We as women must look and must watch out how we communicate, what we say, and how we say it. Like the Proverbs 31 woman, we speak with wisdom. So thank you for joining me on my coffee hopping journey. Keep on following me for next time, next coffee shop, next lady with me. Bye-bye.
Bye.